I'm Tiffany Michelle.
Hi, I'm Robin Riker.
Hi, I'm Alana Stewart.
Hi, everybody. This is Kyle Lauder here. I'm on the set
of Divanities.
Season 2.
And you're watching Indie Intertube.
Indie Intertube.
Indie Intertube.
Indie Intertube TV.
It's not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Surely anyone here has defined what net neutrality is. Tangled up tubes. I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I got it. It's a series of tubes.
Woo!
Look into the camera.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello. Wee!
There's a little bit of a delay, so I'm not sure.
It doesn't just talk.
I'm not
you
sure.
You always
what
do
people
that.
can see.
Why do you do that? They saw the thing and people were like, hey, it's better, you know.
Hi.
You just...
And welcome to Indie Intertube TV.
Oh.
Your home for all that is hot and streaming in the world of online, independent entertainment. We are back for our first Indie Intertube TV since we were gone. Since we went on vacation.
Yeah.
Hiatus, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you can see a little bit of difference.
Where it should be wider and bigger, hopefully.
In the way that we look, it should be wider,
prettier.
bigger. We're not any prettier or thinner. However, it should be more clear to you that that is, in fact, the truth.
And it looks like we're doing this in broad daylight. It is pitch black outside right now.
Mm-hmm. Good lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, what you can't see is that we are using boxes.
Oh, hold on. I'll turn off our spiffy new doobie. Hold on. Woo!
We're using boxes.
We're using legal boxes. Hold on, I'll hold it up.
On chairs, because we had to sell our tables, among other things, in order to get a new computer. So that the show could look better for you guys.
So, and hopefully y'all appreciate the new little stickum graphic. I like it. It's very cool, like right in here. With the tape. Oh, it's taped to your screen. But yeah, so
hopefully you can see us a little bit better. We're going to have to start like wearing makeup and,
you know, looking right.
Taking care of ourselves a little bit better before we do these shows because we're no longer blurry. But yeah. Right?
Yes. And
Cricket, you got it. Cricket has a new outfit too.
That's why I'm sitting
to celebrate
forward
the day.
Come here. We're all in fleece and it's freezing and, you know, it's like 38 and rainy.
But you got to show her off.
This is so. There we go. So she's got her little.
Yeah.
Because she's a Chihuahua. She's not a northern dog. She likes to sleep a lot in it.
It's like she's wrapped in a blanket all the time. But that is Smoxnix. Neither here nor there. To what we're talking about today. A lot of stuff has happened since you last saw us. Although you've never really seen us quite this clearly before.
Or this wide screen.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Let's how do we okay. The IAWTV voting for nominees or selection nominee process has started.
Yes.
I finished the drama category today. I feel really proud of myself.
I finished comedy.
Like
I was excited about that.
Yeah.
Because there's so much. I think comedy is one of the biggest.
And we'll come back to that in a second. Because it's being inspired by that process that has kind of inspired what is the first today of what we hope is many shows exploring something that has kind of come out of that process. Among other things that have happened since we've been gone, Celebrate the Web 5. Voting is going on right now.
Yes.
Lots and lots of pilots for you to go and check out. We reviewed all but 3 of them, I believe, on our last podcast, last Wednesday, before we started talking to Blake Calhoun. And we are going to review the others this coming week, as well as our weekly selections, before we start talking to the principals in the cast of 8 and 5,
Yes.
which we're really excited about for Wednesday.
I really hope that because there's one of the actors that may or may not be able to commit because she has other things going on. I really hope Maya is able to join in. If not, we have backups. It's all good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But it's going to be really interesting talking to 8 and 5. And then the following week's Wednesday podcast, we have the creative mind behind Receiver.
Yes.
Which I think is going to be quite amazing. And you know, we're moving into winter time. It's almost Thanksgiving, which is your birthday.
It is. The day before,
We got a lot of stuff going on. We have our boxes. We've sold our tables. We're poor and useless.
We sold a few
in this
things.
world.
Yeah, so for our system, we sort of opted out of Christmas this year.
We have opted out of Christmas. There will be no Christmas in our house.
So that we can bring you a better show.
Because we have 2 new monitors and a new computer system.
Yep. I'm okay with that, though, because, you know, it looks good, at least from what people are
But we did pre-order
saying.
Mass Effect 3.
But that's for you. Like a birthday thing, and we
it's
we
kind of a
$20.
Christmas present that you don't get till March.
Right. $20. Woo! Pre-order.
And I did buy myself a video game.
That's okay.
Because we're all about online content here. Alice the Madness Returns. We've played all the way up to the end.
Web series.
It would make a great web series, would it not?
If you could do it right.
I am telling you.
Oh.
Because it's so twisted and strange.
Yeah, and I keep looking to the left because we have to get a larger... That's another thing. Now that we're opting out of something else to get another cable, because we need a longer VGA cable for the new... one of the new monitors to reach over here. So I will be...
The second new monitor you can actually see in the corner of your screen back there.
One. But, because... Yeah.
We're monitor killers around here.
We're excited, though, because it's, you know...
But we are gamers in addition to web series geeks. And I after we're done playing Alice, I'm going to go back to LA Noire and Heavy Rain, I think.
We are on the last boss battle. We are going to finish it out tonight. We've already had
Just
dinner.
so you know, Alice the Madness Returns, creepiest game ever.
The dollhouse.
I'm almost willing to start playing Mass Effect myself just to get out of it. And I think I might start playing Elder Scrolls. I don't know.
You should. You would love the story. I'll do the hard stuff. We'll Alan Wake it. Alan Wake it together.
Yeah, and we will be reviewing Anacostia. We'll be talking about Seeking Simone, Girl Scene this week on the podcast. Girl Parts' finale. We'll be talking about Divine, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, which is a new series that is among my favorites. But before we start doing this, I want to say that if you are a web series creator outside of LA or New York, I really would like you, hopefully, if you're a member of the IAWTV, to go to the Facebook and contribute to the conversation that's going on right now. I think sharing concerns and needs and what you hoped or thought would be a member benefit of of being in the IAWTV, especially if you are outside of LA and New York, be that international or anywhere in the U.S., sharing your concerns in that Facebook right now is of the utmost importance, because there's a really good, enlightening discussion going on, and I think we all need to participate. So I hope to see more of you participating in that discussion. American Horror Story.
You just had to bring that IAWTV thing up, didn't you?
American Horror Story.
Oh, we're talking about TV now?
Yes, we've skipped right over IAWTV because I'm not going to let you get going. Had a great cameo this past week from someone in Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who have not seen this week's last week's American Horror Story yet, you will never look at him on Modern Family quite the same way again. Piggy Man.
Here, piggy. Piggy, pig. Anyway.
Yes. I still think American Horror Story watches like a web series. I don't know about any of you, but I do. I think it watches like a web series. Okay. So now back to the IAWTV and the nominee process for the IAWTV Awards. As we were going through the beginning, and it's probably going to take us right till December too.
Oh yeah, we'll be voting
something
the
on
last
all of the
minute of
nominees.
the last
Yeah.
day, I'm sure.
For which, for your consideration, we are there in contention. Best live hosted show and best hosts live. We would love your vote. Also, if you don't vote for us, that's fine too. We certainly
look
don't
better
expect
now.
you to, but we do look better now.
Maybe next year.
Perhaps next year.
When we have, maybe we can get, if we do this consistently, we can at least have 52 plus shows.
Yeah. But during that process, everybody has, or most people have submitted, you have to submit an episode or two of your show. And in going through those nominees, and we vowed to watch everything that we hadn't already seen, and even some of those again, we are discovering shows that we never knew existed, or that had somehow slipped through the cracks in the last 2 years. And we thought, what a great way to do a series of topics is to go through those nominated categories and pick out the shows that are interesting to us, and we hope to you by sharing them, of the best of what's fallen through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of bring some of these shows to your attention that we've missed, that you've missed, that somehow we've all missed in seeing. And hey, if you've seen them, then by all means, comment below and let us know what you think.
Because, well, when you think about it, this will lead up to not only the IAWTV Awards, but closer, and probably actually in January, since we're moving our date forward, we'll also be doing Indie Intertube's, like, best of.
Our Indie Intertube Awards,
We'll have,
second annual.
Yeah, we'll have, no doubt, on the Sundays leading up to our award show, we will try to get in as many categories for our show, because we have, like, 50. And the web series that are nominated in our awards.
And while you do have to be a member of the IAWTV to vote on these awards, you don't have to be a member of the IAWTV to benefit from all of these shows putting their stuff out there. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring these shows to you, and we're going to share them. The first show that we want to talk about is called The Brothers Barbarian. And it's a nominee in the Best Costume Design category. And what I found interesting about it, it's got a little bit of shaky acting from time to time, but it is in the same vein as Standard Action.
Yeah.
And the other LARPing type series. I think it's interesting. I think the costumes are fascinating. So if you are a theater geek or you're into costuming at all, you definitely want to see it. And if you're a gamer, I think it's kind of
tongue-in-cheek,
cute and funny and fantasy related. So here is the season 1 trailer teaser for The Brothers Barbarian.
This summer, barbarians will once again rule the earth.
What are you doing?
But not these guys.
There you go.
It's a funny show. It'll give you a chuckle. Kind of like Walking in Circles. Not quite as good, but kind of like Walking in Circles.
Yeah. But I know that first little teaser trailer kind of reminded me of Conan. And
a little bit.
The absurdity of Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Just with the wig and, yeah. All of that goodness.
So what have you thought about what does it make you feel like to realize we've missed so many shows?
It pisses me off.
Why?
For two reasons. For one, because I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
For two, because nobody made them available outside of now.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to promote these shows and kind of get the information out there. And we need you guys, the creators, the fans, the actors,
I mean, if we had an intern,
to let us know. Because a lot of these shows don't have, and I don't know if you guys are all aware of this, but a lot of these shows don't have publicists, they don't have managers, they don't have promo people that are going to get out there and help you find their show.
Some of these shows don't even have websites. Some of these shows have like a Facebook entry on the director or producer or creator's page, and that's it. And that's where the info is. And outside of that, it's only on YouTube or it's only on
some of the web series that I'm aware of and have become aware of in the last 6 months have come because Seth told me about them and tweeted me about them. So it really is a word of mouth thing. And this is one of those times when telling people and sharing a show that you found, no matter how trivial you think it is, no matter how small you think it is, no matter if you think we've seen it or not, of letting us know so that we can let a larger audience know for you.
That's why we have our email out at every show. If we've missed something, if we've missed you, if you as a fan of web series or a fan of us have said, hey, they haven't ever mentioned this, static@indieintertube.tv.
Yeah, it's very important. Tweet us at indie_intertube. Let us know. Even personally, just kind of let us have a message. Because there are no press releases out there unless you're on a big aggregator site, unless you have a big company behind you. The best way you can count on it is someone has seen your show and likes it and tells everybody else and lets us know.
Right.
And we really want to find these shows. We want to share them with everybody. The next one is another one. It's on Blip and YouTube. It's a dramedy kind of thing. It's about podcasters, so you know automatically why we
and you would
were
have
drawn
thought that
to
we
it.
would have found it.
Right? Right? It's called Casters. It's directed by Aaron Gould. It is a really cute show. And here's the trailer. I don't need to talk about it anymore.
The Showcasters, it's an in-depth, behind-the-scenes look of how a podcast comes together, but at the same time, the relationships that you form with the people that you work with.
Then it's about their day-to-day adventures and their relationships with each other and with other people, but what holds them together at this point is this project that they're working on, this podcast.
And at the same time, you get to meet guest characters every episode, and learn about, their life as well.
I think they could expect certainly a lot of humor. They could expect to hear a lot of funny guests and funny anecdotes, but at the same time, I think more often than not, we can get very poignant.
The drawbacks, what we have to sacrifice in order to put together such an amazing piece.
But it's real life. It's regular people. There's nothing super glamorous. It's about real people with real problems and relationships and their humorous way of dealing with them at times.
When we started a year ago, no one was listening. Now, depending on who the guest is that week, we can range from up to 2,000 to 3,000 listeners a show. What do you do?
I'm a podcaster.
If you're just into human drama,
that
show's really good.
Yeah.
Just like the interplay between people, it was good. And Gift, I know that you were disappointed that River Ridge wasn't an online premiere, but I never really expected it to be. I knew that was going to be an in-person premiere. Hell, we didn't even get a chance to go, so we haven't seen it. I'm going to have to contact him and see if we can get an advance copy of the first episode of River Ridge. But it'll be online soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of like Continuum. It's
Yeah.
on, and you can watch it, but you got to go to their Facebook. And if you don't watch it, by the time he takes it down, you've missed.
It was an in-person premiere. It was a red carpet premiere.
Yeah, you're gonna miss that whole deal.
But
thing,
it's out there. I'm sure it'll be on.
Same thing with the first thing of Pretty. First episode of Pretty was a red carpet premiere. And what happened? 3 days later or the day after it came out. That's what happens. When you have people who try to get stuff together for their local area because they're doing it mostly, red carpets are for their actors, it's for local press, and it's for people who enjoy, entertainment in this kind of format to go and see something that would be like a red carpet movie premiere.
Ooh!
Ooh.
Before we go on to the next trailer, there's one trailer that we didn't show you because I know the show is going to be very audience specific.
Which one?
But I laughed myself silly today watching it, and I laughed myself silly the other day watching it. It's on Machinima, and I am a big Machinima fan. We watch Dragon Age on there. I watch Bite Me on there, which is the gamers of Zombie Apocalypse.
Right. I will eventually make my own Machinima.
But Machinima has a great channel.
Yes.
And they do a show or have a show on their network called How to Annoy People. And I don't play first-person shooters, and I don't play Modern Warfare or Call of Duty.
I liked the original.
But this guy going in there to players who aren't that serious, and
yeah, he doesn't go into like tournament circuits. He doesn't go into team circuits who are actually trying to gain points and get notoriety for what they're doing, or the spec ops that
going
play
in there
Modern
and
Warfare,
just trying
their time
to
off.
annoy people. It's hilarious.
Yes, for like your average casual player or your 12-year-old little boy.
Hearing those people just lose their brains when he starts annoying them, it just cracks me up.
It's hilarious.
If you think that a lot of the people you've met that play Call of Duty have a lot of douchebaggery, if you think that some of the people who play first-person shooters can be a little bit overbearing,
a little anal retentive,
or perhaps a little bit too much into the game, then you might find How to Annoy People to be funny. If you know somebody who plays Call of Duty and has a good sense of humor about it,
perhaps
they also might find it
you've
funny.
played one of these first-person shooters and run into that obnoxious, like 10, 12-year-old idiot who's playing his dad or mom's version of the game while they're at work and they get home from school. This will make you laugh. And I really wanted to show the one with Jim.
I mean, because you're a gamer and you thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was, but I think stuff like that is so funny because I honestly believe that the people the guys, and I know and I'm going to get my butt kicked for it, but the guys and girls that go out for like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and get so upset and strict and it's like, go join the armed forces. Because that's really, if you're going to treat it like that, go join. Because that's exactly how it is. Go join.
If any of you would have been in the house yesterday, when I was in the final section of Alice the Madness Returns, you would have thought it was Armageddon. Or that my entire world was falling apart from the cursing that was floating out of this house.
I was waiting for the TV to explode. Like, I was waiting to
I
hear...
almost pitched the controller right through the
that,
television.
Oh, damn it! And just, yeah. I was waiting for...
My favorite episode so far of How to Annoy People is the
Jim?
Can I Call You Jim?
Can I call you Jim? Oh, the mouths on some of these 12-year-old boys.
Can I call you Jim? My name's not Jim!
My name's not Jim, motherfucker!
Kudos, Machinima, because that is funny as hell. And I still love Bite Me. The zombie apocalypse comedy. It's hilarious. The next one that we want to talk to you here about, though, and these are kind of a good smattering of different web series.
Random
it's called
shows.
2012, the web series.
This was so good. Because it you can tell just by looking at the trailer, but one of the things that you have to take into consideration is the end of the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
It's kind of the catalyst for... I was going to rob a bank. This catalyst for this web series. And the graphics in it are just... The special effects graphics are
very
phenomenal.
good for a web series, yeah.
Yeah. For what they did and how they managed to use location, I thought it was fantastic.
So they've got quite a few episodes out there. They are in contention for Best Drama. If you're an IAWTV voter. Although us showing them on the show is in no way endorsement to vote for them. These are just shows that we found that we think are interesting and deserve to be shared. Here is the trailer for 2012, the web series. Yeah, it really got me interested just by watching the episode that they chose to submit for their nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree, Seth. I would agree with that statement. watching things again and seeing what's out there have confirmed my feelings about some web series.
Yeah.
And opened my eyes to others.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're in watching, in seeing a lot of things that were nominated and going through, even just going through the 100+ list of comedies. When I went through that, I was like, some of this is just
not good.
Honestly phenomenal. And then, you know, the rest is just, what happened? Like, where did your punchline go? Kind of a thing.
And I don't want to discourage people from submitting their shows.
No.
But when it comes to awards, there has to be
a level.
There has to be a level. And there has to be a point at which you know, and I say this having submitted us, at which you know your
if we'd had this, I would
your
have submitted
quality
this
is just not there yet. And I don't necessarily mean the quality of what you're looking at.
No.
Because production value does not always mean it's a great show.
No, it's the quality.
I've seen some shows with great production value that were empty vessels with absolutely no meat, no content.
Right, it's the quality of the content. It's not the It's not how it looks. It's not how it sounds, though that can be a big issue. It's what is being given to me in this show.
It needs to move me.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, if it moves me to laugh, if it moves me to think, if it moves me to
if it confuses
get involved, if it moves me to cry, then I tend to vote for something like that.
Right. It has
than I would for something that I look at and say, ooh, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
And I've seen live programming that maybe isn't the prettiest to look at, but it moves me or spurs me to action or does something, and I would vote for that.
Provides a service. Who knows?
You know what I mean?
But no, I completely agree. And and this is not to say, ooh, let's all become elitist, and unless you're, you know, sponsored or branded or blah, and it looks fantastic, like it's a movie that it needs to be in. And it's like, no, even if you shoot it in your backyard on a DVD handycam that's not in HD, I don't care. So long as your content makes me react. If it gives me something to go off of and go, ooh. You have to make me something go, ooh,
because
inside.
I can watch something that looks beautiful.
And it's absolute shit.
And when it's over, it's like you can't remember it 5 minutes later. You know? Like you finish watching the show and you're like, wow, that show is beautiful. They had perfect, crisp camera work and there was no stutter and everything was great. And then you leave and you go outside to do something and somebody says, well, what were you watching earlier? And you can't tell them.
Yeah, you forgot the name.
Or you knew what show it was, but you didn't really, well, what's it about? But yeah, what's in the... You know.
It has that chick. No. It has the guy. It was pretty.
Exactly. So to me, a show being pretty...
That doesn't work.
Doesn't necessarily mean the show deserves to have an award unless the award happens to be for cinematography.
Right. And then just about, you know, then there's a completely
or special
different
effects.
level.
And then there's a completely different level. I don't care if it has a story, if the cinematography is beautiful, or the special effects are really good, or the costumes are really good.
And that's one of the things that I mentioned this on the show on Wednesday was for some of these categories, it's like, okay, cinematography, I could give a flying pig for what your show is about, or, you know, the quality of it, or the sound. If I'm looking at your show for cinematography, I'm looking at it...
Could have bad writing, and the cinematography could be great.
For visual. And what visually does it... I'll watch it on mute, because it's not about the sound, it's not about the content, it's not about... I mean, it's about the content, but it's not about all these other things. Cinematography is going to be how it's shot, how it looks, how it's cut up, how everything transitions. And if it's beautiful to my mind, then yes, it still goes.
Whereas I can watch a show that isn't that pretty to look at.
But it's phenomenal.
But if you're going to be the best drama, you should be pleasant enough to look at. You should have good, solid acting. Mm-hmm. And the dramatic story needs to move me. It needs to move people in some way. Right. The editing doesn't, you know, you would want all of those individual pieces to come together to make a fantastic whole. But if you pick it apart by those individual pieces, they may not be that great.
Right, like best editing, you're going to look at how it's shot. And if your transitions are crap, then that goes against you in the editing category.
But I've watched shows that are dark and have bad acting, and if the writing was fantastic and the story was great, I've kept watching. Mm-hmm. And by the same token, if I'm watching a best comedy category and I can get through your entire show, whether it's 2 minutes or 15 minutes, and I don't laugh once, I have a hard time voting for that.
Well, and unless it's a dark comedy, and even then you're kind of going, oh, well, that's or satirical, and that's a different vein. But you have a similar comedic reaction. You find that funny. But there have been some shows where you watch through and go, did they submit to the right category?
Are they? Yeah.
Do we have a mystery category? Confusion? What?
But the best thing about it is that so many shows are submitting themselves. That is amazing. That shows you how many web series are out there. And it shows you that if you are making a web series in 2011, 2012, just go and do it. You're not breaking new ground.
No.
You're not the first. No. You are a part of a group of wonderful, passionate creators in a space that is the pioneers, and we are moving the space forward. But we are certainly not the first two people to sit in front of a camera and talk about stuff.
No.
And I think if you just approach it of, we're going to create a good, solid story.
Or a good, solid show.
Don't try to be perfect. Try to tell a story that moves people.
And gradually
I think you're better off
work your
than
way
if
up
you
to
try
better
to
things.
be the end-all, be-all of this space.
Right. And if you have your good story, which is free, by the way. Story's free. Table reads, free.
And I agree with what Darren Strauss just said in the chat room. She thinks, and I agree with this, that you need to vote cinematography, editing, acting, and writing first before you vote for best drama or comedy.
Right.
Although, and I agree with that, and I have voted for some of those smaller categories first. But the interesting thing is, the show with the best cinematography and the best editing and the best directing may not be the same show with the best writing and get the best drama.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Or, best actor, best actress.
You can have fantastic acting in your show and have fantastic editing and a great soundtrack and fantastic cinematography, but if your story is shit,
it doesn't
matter. You
lost it in your best whatever category.
Because you'll have people going, "Oh my god, it's so bad." You
right,
know what I mean?
and then and that's what's funny, and I'm curious for this. This is why I so hope that
it's like wait, hold on, I'm sorry, but it's like watching Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
At its worst. Or Passions, when you're like,
it's better?
Days of Our Lives looks amazing.
So clear and crisp in the sets.
And you'll look at it and go, oh my god, did you hear what they're saying?
What just came out of that mouth? What?
And I felt that way about primetime shows too. It's like you watch it and go, oh, Charlie's Angels.
God.
Perfect example. Show looks beautiful.
Shot on location.
Beautiful, beautiful show. Stupid show.
It has none of the nostalgia of the original, and I didn't think it paid an homage. But what I was originally saying was, I hope that with the things and the people and whatnot that we have in the background that we're trying to make happen, when we get to IAWTV, if we get to the IAWTV Awards, I want to see what happens if, like, I don't want to say the dark horse, because I usually vote for the dark horse, but like I'm curious to see nominees-wise, if one of those shows that we're kind of like, oh my, why is that there? It's like a cow turd. That if it gets nominated and wins, you know what I'm saying? Like if I know I will have a visceral sort of physical reaction to certain things, I can't help it. I'm curious if that will happen with other people. You know what I mean? Like if there's a like-mindedness for how did that get there? It's crap. And yet wins. Like it happens in the Oscars, it happens in the Emmys. You watch something, you're like, that movie was crap. It made no sense. Why is it winning Best Picture? Why is it nominated? That kind of a deal. So I'm curious for the outcomes in December for what the final nominations are going to be and all of that. Because I'm weird that way.
But before we lose a lot of time, let's move on to...
What? Who cares? We'll go on forever.
No, I don't. I am not aware, Seth, whether Venice is in any of the categories for IAWTV. I do not think it was submitted.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it come up in my looking. No one has said anything. I'm not sure that anybody associated with Open Book Productions are part of the IAWTV.
Right. I haven't.
They should be, but I don't know if they are.
No, I haven't seen anything in it. And again, there were also some other shows that I wish had been in it and just couldn't submit.
What?
Bun Bun China, Ragged Isle.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed Blood and Bone Shine and Ragged Isle aren't, but we're going to move on a little bit before we talk more about this.
Okay.
The next show, I don't know if they've been submitted or not, but I just rewatched their trailer, and it's so good. And I don't think a lot of you have seen the show, and you may have thought because of the content that it wasn't something you wanted to check out, and I think it is. So it's called Girl Scene. It was it's directed by Eric Butts, and their trailer is really good, and the show is really good. So as soon as Shad's done typing, we'll take a look at the season 1 trailer for Girl Scene.
I have another surprise for you.
What?
A date.
No, absolutely not. No.
There she is.
Oh my god. She's beautiful. Okay, I take back everything I've said. Anybody would find her attractive. Are you sure she's not straight?
Yeah.
What was that?
You are going to creep her out. Alright? What if she sees you?
What if she doesn't?
Where'd she go? Who? Your friend. Evan, she just left.
I'm sure you'll see her again.
Yeah.
Are you gay? And it's just your way of telling me?
Oh my god.
And I love Elliot. And I totally support you being a transformer. Transgender. Thanks.
Transformer, yeah. I love being a transformer.
I know, I love that. Congratulations on being a transformer. It's a good show. It was created by Tucky Williams, as you saw on the screen, is directed by Eric Butts. They're both on Facebook, and it's a really, really interesting show. And it's a lot more than just its subject matter.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said yes.
Okay. The next show is a branded show. Branded by Macy's. Only available on Macy's website.
We argued
Let
about
me
this
just
one.
tell you, we argued about this show a lot. It is beautifully shot. And it is well acted, and it's written well enough. It was nominated for a drama on IAWTV, or they've submitted themselves for nomination.
It wasn't who's nominated yet. It's a pre-nom.
It is just amazingly shot. It is so beautiful. Not the best story. Written well enough.
It's kind of like when they read.
You're not their demo, hun.
No, but I should be, and it's.
Well, true enough.
But it's like when they redid Tarzan.
Yeah, but I just didn't think of it that way. I tried not to think of it that way.
Well, I didn't think of it in a bad way. I kind of liked the premiere of it in the way the initial idea of what they were doing with trying to reboot.
They even have a music video. You can check that out on YouTube. Just show them the trailer. Okay. It's for the Macy's branded show, Wendy.
Presented by Macy's. From the producers of The Vampire Diaries. A timeless story.
Who are you?
I'm Pete.
Like you've never seen before.
I don't know what to believe.
Maybe you just need to believe.
Wendy premieres September 15th at Macy's.com. Get the look from Material Girl, American Rag, and more at M Style Lab, only at Macy's.
It's so pretty.
It's a vanity project.
It's pretty.
Well,
it's
yes,
beautiful.
When you have the money of Macy's behind you, for their new.
Well, and it's got star power and it's got money and blah, but it's beautiful. I can't deny the fact that they did a really good job.
It's beautifully shot.
Well, I mean, that's like saying, I can't compliment The Confession because it happens to be a Kiefer Sutherland show.
Well, I can compliment it, but I wouldn't.
The show is fantastic.
Yeah, but he's done it for what?
Well, to make a movie.
To make a
beside
movie.
The point.
But yeah, that's another thing that we had an argument about earlier too. Or no, we had a discussion. And we agreed about how we viewed that. But anyway.
Yeah.
No, it is beautifully shot, and I love that. Initially, it was supposed to be for TV. It wasn't. They did the pilot as a web series, and maybe they're shopping it. Maybe they'll make more. Maybe they'll actually make the show. Who knows? Depends on how well, how much money Macy made back, I think.
It is interesting that this was a web series first. It is interesting that it was a big company that did it. It's interesting that it was shown on the Macy's website. I don't want to discount this kind of content. That's why I wanted to show it. I think it's really quite good.
But for indie, it's not.
Well, it's not indie.
It's not, exactly. It's not indie. For web series, again, like I said, I praise the fact that they have decided to go sort of the online web series route with it. And they know their target, they know their demo, they know, what to push for, and they know exactly how to get people to spend their money. It's brought to you by Macy's, and every style and everything that you see is available at Macy's.
Yeah.
Mom, I want to go to Macy's because they have all the stuff in this show.
The music video is really good.
Yeah.
It is. It is. What? It's good. It's like me going, I'm going to watch Lost Girl tonight. It's like, it would be like me going, I'm only going to watch indie television and indie movies from now on.
Well, no, I never
Bullshit.
said that.
Tonight I'm going to watch Lost Girl, Once Upon a Time, and The Good Wife. I'm going to be glued to network television tonight. My cable is going to get a workout. Or not cable, because we don't have cable, but,
Your TV's going to get a workout.
Oh, yeah.
The box is.
Big time. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't watch network TV. Of course we watch network TV.
Yeah. I try not to.
But there is some that you like.
There is
Lost
some
Girl
that I
being
like,
one of
yeah.
them. Once Upon a Time.
But I'm also the kind, I like to, on Saturday I'm going to watch everything. I like doing that.
I can't show her American Horror Story at night.
No.
Gives her bad dreams.
Yeah, Infantata is just, woo. Anyway. Scares my brain.
Just like I don't want to discourage quality in movies or television, I don't want to discourage quality stuff in web series as well.
No, and I'm not trying to discourage it. I'm just saying, overall, it's a great branded show. And it's beautiful. And again, you can kind of learn from the fact that they know their market. They know who they're targeting.
Yep.
And it's, if it does
and
well,
it
they
shows
make
you
a
that
show,
a
there you go.
successful web series for those actors will probably bring those actors back to do another project.
If not the same project
Perhaps.
for TV. Or a second season, or Lord only knows.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
It's the truth.
And the fact that it got advertised on television.
It totally did. It was all over the TV.
As a web series.
Yep.
That you could only find it online.
That said, like you saw in that commercial, available on, premieres in September on the Macy's website.
Yeah.
And it was never going to premiere anywhere else. It was created as a web series. That's what they meant for it to be.
Yeah.
That I think is great. I would love to
ABC
see a
and
show
Macy's are
like
just gonna
Lost
rule the
Girl
world.
do a web series, especially now that they're going to be on Sci-Fi next year. I would love to see Lost
They'll
Girl
probably
do a
have a
companion web
secondary
series.
companion.
Woot!
Anyway.
So we've got two more that we want to show you, and the next one is a show called The Weakness. The interesting thing about this one is to actually read a little bit up about it, and there are several unique things about this show, The Weakness. And I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'll see if you can figure it out, and then we'll discuss it on Twitter or in the comments on our YouTube channel when you watch this on YouTube. It was started when the person whose channel it is on YouTube was doing a lip sync music video.
Right.
And the person came up with an idea.
The person?
The creator came up with the idea for a longer story, and it became The Weakness. It has such interesting camera work.
Mm-hmm. And it's a different... I will give it that it's a very innovative thing to do, in a way. I haven't seen anybody do it yet, outside of this group and this creator. And I think that's very, very neat. Even though there are elements of it that, because my hearing can be so tune sensitive to things, that it bugs me.
Yeah.
But it's not a discouragement. That's just a personal, my ears are weird kind of a thing.
But I think it will appeal to a lot of people, and I think that it's unique enough to keep you coming back, and the story is good.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to talk about it anymore because I don't want to spill all of its secrets, But this is the trailer for The Weakness. The date on that's really deceiving because I think it came out later.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it ended up coming out later.
Yeah, but it's just got some interesting stuff going on with it. You need to check it out. You need to check it out.
Yeah,
and we're going to be doing these shows for a while now because we want to pull out from different categories. The comedies, the dramas, the stuff that's nominated in special effects. Any place that we're finding a show that we feel like has slipped the cracks, we're going to talk about it.
Right.
Because we're on a hunt. And the best way to let people know about these shows is to talk about them. We can't let these shows who have submitted themselves for consideration, especially if they don't get the nominations,
just kind of go to the wayside.
Fade away. I don't think any web series should just fade away.
Well,
I think we need to watch them if for no other reason somebody took the time to make it.
Right, and I think that's another thing that people fail to kind of recognize with web series. They're always there, so long as the YouTube channel or the website or anything else is there. But once they're not, they're gone. This isn't like something you can go to Best Buy and buy the DVD. This isn't something that's going to come back and get re-promoted because it's coming out on Blu-ray. Or, after 7 years, they're going to open the vault of web series back up and, throw this all in a collection.
For like a week.
Right. It's not going to happen. That's not how it works. It's either in the, the ether of the internet forever or for as long as whoever initially created it can maintain whatever it takes to keep it up. Be that a YouTube channel, be that just throwing it on Dailymotion, being, putting it up on a website until the domain no longer exists.
Right.
But, I think that's another hard part about promotion. You could have done a web series 15 years ago. And if it's still out there, you should still be promoting it. Or you should at least have a means for somebody to find it.
Yeah. I think it's important.
Yeah. Because I think people just kind of fail to realize, and even with its short format, I think that's the tendency to just sort of
Darren just kind of
move past.
And she's right. She said that she thought it was going to be painful to watch hours of submissions, but it wasn't.
It's not.
It's been fun.
Yeah. But the problem, I think, for some people is that once they watch it and they get past a show and it's not going to make another season or they're not going to make any more episodes or whatever, it's sort of like, okay, I'm going to shuffle that back to never again in my brain.
But there's still people out there watching it. Your show still has fans. Every show has fans. And that's something that really needs to be worked on in this community, is cultivating your audience and remembering that they're still there. Now, there's one more. And I saved this one for last on purpose.
Oh, no.
Kleenex.
Hey. Woo! Because that's what people want to see you do.
Yeah, I know.
On camera.
Saved this. I'm sorry. I have a cold. What am I going to do? I had to do it.
You couldn't have waited until the thing?
Stop.
That's awesome. That's
So
like
anyway.
you answering the cell phone during our panel.
I totally did. This show is amazing. Oh, so good. And it's not, I don't know if I would really call it indie or not. I know the people behind it are people who are experienced in television.
Right.
Ivan Hayden, who created the show as part of Maple Blood Productions. They're Canadian, by the way, Vancouver-based. He was a special effects supervisor on Lost, Supernatural, Stargate, among other things. Andromeda. And he created this show. Oh my god, it's so good. I showed you the first episode right before. I discovered it through the IAWTV. Thank you, IAWTV. It's called Divine the Series.
Which is funny because I had originally seen it right before they
saw the
premiered.
trailer.
On Fear.net.
Yeah.
Was what it had been on. And they did an interview with the creator of it. And I thought, I can't wait because I think they pushed their date back. I could be wrong.
It looks like the first episode
came out in October.
Right around Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was initially scheduled, I think, for September. August, September.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But I remember, seeing the article for it and then lost it. I never saw anything else about it again.
It is so good.
Until it popped up.
I cannot even tell you how it's heavy on the Catholicism.
Yeah, it really...
Heavy on the gore.
Really...
Well, not heavy on the gore.
Heavy on the blood.
It's enough gore.
Heavy on the blood.
Outstanding practical effects.
Heavy on... It is heavy on Catholicism. But not in that whole sense of, ooh, let me convert you. Part of me goes, if Catholicism was like this, there would be more Catholics. Swear to goodness.
Here's the trailer for Divine the Series, and you definitely want to check this one out. They're on YouTube.
It's been 1 week, 5 days, 12 hours and 27 minutes since my last confession.
What is the nature of your sins?
Mortal.
There's no scripture for this. People deserve to know.
Something was done, something he was a part of, something he must atone for.
Who the hell do you think you are keeping this to yourself?
You don't understand.
No, you don't understand. You're a deacon in an East Side slum and you have no business trying to handle this.
Damn you to eternal hell!
Seriously.
You should go.
I get excited.
I know.
It's such a good show.
Seriously, and all of that
It's
suspense
beautiful.
that built up in that moment gone.
And the cinematography is beautiful, and when you watch the first episode, the practical effects that they use are amazing. I mean, it is really impressive.
Yeah.
I was really happy to find this one. I can't believe they're Vancouver filmmakers and we missed it.
Well, not only that, but yes, that is a baby that's getting up off the ground, and it's completely digitally created.
Was it? Are you sure?
Yeah. The only way...
Because we haven't watched the rest of it.
No, in that trailer, when you watch, because I'm weird and I'm a stickler for that, I could see a halo in one part of rendering that just somebody missed it. Or it was already there and that's just polished shit. Either way, it was like, oh, Jeebus.
I cannot wait to see the rest of it. I might sit there and watch the rest of it when we get off of here before Lost Girl comes on, because it's that good.
There is, and in the first episode, I do have to praise whoever it is that plays the priest, because my lord, that is a mouthful. Trust me, I know it. And, you know, for him to do it with such conviction, it honestly made me wonder if that actor was actually an actor. Or
a real priest.
If it was a real priest or somebody who at one point had been studying it and decided to opt out.
But seriously, the whole first episode just grabs you by the throat and pulls you in. It is so good. It is paced well. The writing is extremely good. The practical effects are good. The CG is good.
Mm-hmm. And it's laced with just sort of little nuances of Catholicism. Things you don't even think to realize, you know, until you see part of it pointed out. You're like, oh my goodness, he's laying that way. And yeah.
Yeah, it was just so good. And I hope before we leave British Columbia that we can talk to the people at Maple Blood Productions about this show, because I am way impressed with this show. I think it is amazing. Really good work. And it's one of those pieces that you see when you go through these shows that have put themselves up for consideration, where you almost want to kick yourself for missing it.
Yeah.
Even though it's not that old and hasn't been out that long.
You're still going, because I could have been talking about it this whole time.
Right, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it on Wednesday.
Yeah. But there's a ton of shows I know from people who are members of the organization and aren't like us, that go out and try to cultivate shows for our show, who are coming across web series and going, wow, I didn't even know, like 3/4 of these shows I've never seen. You know, you can
in the drama category, I've literally got a full sheet of shows that I had never seen.
Right, and yet they're I know that in some categories, like we were so amazed, and we flipped one page and went, we've seen every show on that page, because there's at least one per voting page that you get. There's at least one, sometimes two shows that we've never seen or heard of.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what? Okay.
And we watch more content than the average bear. That's true.
And so I think it's just, no, it's not. It's like Yogi Bear. I think PJ's tired, but it's so interesting to me to hear some people chatting about, I've never seen these shows, or yeah, that's my best friend's show, but I've never watched anything else, and I'm a member of this organization, and hello.
She liked it too.
But yeah, Cricket liked Divine. Woo!
She did like Divine.
Bloody and gory and Catholic. So
she likes Unleashed. That's her favorite show.
Yeah.
And that is the end of our show. And we hoped that you'd enjoyed it. We hope that
we look better.
The quality of the show is a little bit better.
Wait, not
and
us,
perhaps
but the show.
Next week we will look even better, because now we realize that you can actually see us.
And it is still dark 30 outside. It looks
Yes.
like Armageddon has hit, because it gets dark at about 3:30. Starts to. It really does. The sun starts to go down at like 4.
Make sure that you join us for our podcast on Wednesday, when our guest will be the main cast and creator of Aiden 5. And you'll be able to see this show, thanks to Mingle Media.
Woo, in reruns.
Every Sunday live, and after that on our YouTube channel. And remember, when you watch it on YouTube, to comment down below. Let us know if there's a show that we haven't seen. Let us know what you think of us, even if you think we're fat, ugly, and
Stupid.
really hideous now that we're no longer blurry.
Right. So now that we're no longer 8 to 16-bit.
Either way, whether you like us or you don't, if you have suggestions or you don't, if you watch the show and you feel compelled to, please make a comment down below and let us know. We will be watching, and we will join the discussion at any point.
Woo.
So, until Wednesday and until next Sunday, go out there, watch some of these shows, and by all means, please share them with somebody else and let the creators know that you like them. Good night, everybody.
The internet is not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Surely anyone here has defined what net neutrality is. Tangled up tubes. sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. It's a series of tubes.